Hello Kristen, it is December 6th, 2013, which means day 6 of Vlogmas. I thought that I would go through the books that I've read this year. I guess I can start with this one. It is Silver Linings Playbook. I still haven't actually seen the movie. I really want to. But the book was relatively good. The only thing that I have to say about it is that I think it's going to be a way better movie than a book, because you're kind of in the main character's head in here, and he's kind of crazy. If you've seen the movie or read the book, you know what I'm talking about. And it just gets kind of redundant. So in the movie, it'll kind of be interesting to see other characters' point of view. Another book that I read this year is Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but this was like an awesome, very imaginative book, and what I like about it is that it's unique and it has different pictures on the inside. And I think that the guy who wrote this, Ransom Riggs, is a friend of John Green's, and I think I heard him say that he found some of these pictures and wrote the story based on the pictures, which I think is awesome. I wish I could find a cool picture. Here's one. It's kind of creepy, but there's one of the pictures. So two other books that I read this year so far are Deadlocked and Dead Ever After, and they are the last two books in the Sookie Stackhouse series. I like these books, but I kind of think of them as something totally separate from the show. I also watched the show, and that's actually how I got into the books, was because of the show. But in the show, I hate Sookie. Like, I hate her. I don't like her character at all. And in the books, I actually do like her character. So don't base your reading or not reading off of the show, because they're a lot different. The first season is pretty much the same as the first book, but then after that it's like they totally Another book that I read this year is Hidden by PC Cast and Kristen Cast, and I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have all of the other books right here, and they're pretty good. They're definitely different. I don't know how to describe them. They're like vampire witches, I guess you could say. They're interesting. I like them well enough. I've read all of them, and as you can see, there's a lot of them. So I'm kind of into the series. One series that I've read this year is the Ugly series, which Kristen, you actually recommended, and I liked them a lot. The Uglies was definitely the best one, and that's the first one. Pretty Specials Extras are the next three, and Extras is kind of like, it was a trilogy and then it was extended. So the trilogy, these three kind of go together, and this one is kind of different. But overall, great series. I liked it a lot. I probably would have changed a few things that happened, but I liked it overall. It was cool. And speaking of a trilogy that got extended, The Kill Order. This is actually a prequel to the trilogy, the Maze Runner trilogy, which the movie is actually coming out February 14th, I believe, along with Vampire Academy. I almost said Diaries. Along with Vampire Academy. And I have these books. You can see these ones. It's The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, and The Death Cure. And this is the prequel to them. I liked the trilogy a lot, more so than I liked this, because after the trilogy I kind of was like looking for something more, and I knew that they had this book, and so I went into this book looking for more of those characters, and these are all different characters, so it was kind of disappointing in that way. So if you do decide to read this, don't go into it thinking that you're going to get more of the characters in the first three. Another series I want to mention really quickly is this James Patterson series, The First to Die. I've read through 5, and I believe there's 12, there might be 13 now actually. The first one is still the best one so far. I was kind of on a roll reading them, and then I kind of got like off track because they're good filler books, I think. Like if you have nothing to read and you really feel like reading, then they're good stories, they're fun, but they're definitely not something that I have to go out and get the next one and read the next. Another book that I read was A Study in Scarlet, and I have the complete Sherlock Holmes edition from Barnes & Noble, I believe, and that's where I read it. I love Sherlock Holmes. That's the first actually book that I've read, and I want to read all the other ones, but I always get distracted by other books. But of course, Sherlock Holmes, classic. You gotta love it. Another classic that I read this year was The Time Machine, and I've actually read it before when I was younger, and reading it this year, I was like, how did I understand anything I was reading when I was younger? Because I just feel like I wouldn't have understood it. I don't know how I read that when I was younger. Another book that I read was Someday, Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham, who plays Lorelai in Gilmore Girls and Sarah in Parenthood. It was actually really good. If you like stories about actors trying to make it, that's kind of witty and silly and just a great story. I liked it. Next book that I read was Clockwork Princess, which is the kind of prequel series to City of Bones, which the movie just came out this year. If you see, I've gotten the ones right here. I can't exactly remember what happened in it, but I know that I always like Cassandra Clare's books. I love the settings, and I love her writing, and I love her her character's relationship. Of course, I had to read The Cuckoo's Calling. As soon as I found out it was J.K. Rowling, I was all over this baby, and I loved it. I didn't go into it with high expectations because I had read The Casual Vacancy, and that bombed. Like, I can't even, I'm disappointed. Definitely glad that there's going to be more of them because the characters are awesome. And we have another one of my favorite authors, Rochelle Mead. She wrote Game Boy Out of the Gods, which is the beginning of a series. She's the one that did Vampire Academy, which is going to be a movie February 14th as well. And I can make a whole nother video about what I think about that movie. But, yeah, this one is really good. If you like Rochelle Mead's work, then you would definitely like books I read this one when it came out, which was earlier this year, The Indigo Spell, and then I just recently finished The Fiery Heart. And I think that these are great. These are also by Rochelle Mead, who is one of my favorite authors. And The Indigo Spell I liked a lot. I thought it was a great story. The Fiery Heart. Now, I liked this story, but I feel like it is one of those filler books. A lot of the action happens, like, right here. So the first half of the book, it's great because you know the characters and you like the characters, so of course you want to hear what they're doing, but then, like, you get to the end and you're like, man, I need the next book now. So I don't normally say this about her books because I just want to read them right when they come out, but if you haven't read it yet, I would say wait until the next one comes out so that you can jump right from this one to the next one, and it'll just be like a great flow, like one book. And what I'm reading now is this book right here, which I made a whole video on my main channel that I can link below about this book. It is awesome. I can show you some of the awesomeness. Oh, I lost a postcard. But it's like a book with writing in the sides. I didn't write that, that's how it comes. And it comes with like postcards and stuff with the writing and all these little inside stuff, another postcard, a picture. So if you want to know more about that, definitely go to my main channel and check out that. And I will see you tomorrow, which is your birthday. So happy birthday, and I hope you have a great birthday and a great party and everything. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.